Welcome to the dish, and my co-host, Luann Perschau.
Hey, Mark. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. Yeah, it is
Yes.
Friday. Sometimes, a lot of times we do this on Thursday, but
Yes,
this week we get to talk about the cliffhanger.
that's right. That's the nice thing with doing these shows on Fridays. And we have
Yeah.
a lot to talk about with the Newman family fighting amongst themselves, the Abbott family fighting amongst themselves, and then a wedding.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, I got a quick question for you, though, before we get into it.
Sure.
So, you're in Canada yet, right?
Correct. Yes.
I was just thinking about this. I wanted to ask you. So, we get a lot of news on the wildfires in Canada down here. Mm-hmm. What's being reported up there? Do you get a lot of that on the news?
No, we get some, but not a lot. Mainly the fires that they're talking about in Canada are on the east side by Nova Scotia or on the west side by Vancouver. And we also get some of we're close to Detroit. So we get a lot of the channel, we get Canadian and U.S. channels. And from Detroit, they talk about the smoke area. The area that they're concerned with. But here in Canada, where we are, we see a little bit, but hardly anything.
Okay. I was curious, and I knew you were so close to the United States line that I kind of assumed maybe you were getting a lot of U.S. news up there too.
Yes, we get a combination of both.
Okay. All right. So let's get cracking.
Okay, I'm
All
ready.
right. So let's first talk about Victor. So he's bringing in the reins at Newman Enterprises and McCall Incorporated because Victor's tired of all the power struggles between Victoria and Nick and Adam, and he's pissed.
He is. He's very upset.
He also kind of wants Nick to kind of babysit and work with Adam, but I almost just to kind of keep check on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does, and he is happy with the little company that Sharon, the company that Sharon has, and that Adam and Nick will run together, and I think he's trying to keep Adam in check. But he wants to give him a little freedom, but he gave him that 3-month probationary. You can do what you want. But I'll be keeping an eye on all of you. And that's when he brought the family together last week. He said, I'm still in charge, and I want us to get along, and we will work together, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. The scene I did like too was Victor also gives notice here recently to Nate that the Newman businesses are run by Newmans, and that he will never be top dog.
No.
I thought that was interesting. Victor's acting like he trusts Nick. I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Trust Nate.
Nate.
Yeah.
But Nick sure doesn't.
No, Nick.
Or Nate doesn't.
Nick does not trust Nate at all. And I liked how Victor said, no one other than a Newman will run my company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting, if there's something coming up this week where, just to see the dynamics with Victoria and Adam and Nick, and now bringing Sharon into that too, just to see how that all falls together when they all are in one place together in the Newman building.
Yes. Hopefully they don't kill each other.
I know, right? Victor will have to be the referee, and in today's episode, I hadn't seen this for a long time, where he was doing his punching bag again, taking out some of his frustration, I think.
Yep. He's in pretty good shape for an old timer.
He sure is.
Victor.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. So Sally has a long history of receiving offers from powerful people. And this week, Victor presents her with a new opportunity at Newman.
And
that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either, and neither was Sally. She was a little surprised, too. And, thinking, is he sincere and really truly wanting me to come work there? And I think he sees how Sally does make Nick happy, and so he's willing to bring her on, and I think he wants to see what the dynamics will be created between Nick, Adam, and Sally. And I think she will take the job.
Yeah, it sounds like she's leaning that way, yeah. All right, so what do you think of the next one, Luann? So Sharon and Chance had a hookup here recently.
Oh, I know, and that was hot. I mean, Sharon looked really good. So did Chance. They look good together. I mean, it was like, ooh, that was good.
Soft porn.
Soft porn, yeah, on daytime.
On daytime television.
Yeah, and and they do look really good together. They fit well together, and it's fun watching them. And it was we knew it was going to eventually happen, and they made us wait a long time for this.
They did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So the other one that's interesting is Kyle continues to sleep with Audra at the athletic club.
He's calling them meetings.
Yeah, meetings.
He's having meetings, and they're spending a lot of time together in the hotel room, not in the office, but in the hotel room, and and they had some run-ins this week with Summer, so
Yep.
it was interesting watching that happen too, and so Summer knows now, and others are starting to know too. Like in today's episode, Ashley and Tucker were kind of wondering. Ashley said, "What's this all about?" when she saw Kyle and Audra. And Tucker says, "Well, that's just two business associates having dinner." And
having
she said,
a platonic drink, he says.
Yeah. And Ashley's like, "That's not what it looks like to me."
Yeah, no. Uh-huh. Hey, speaking of you brought up the fact about the meetings, the meetings that they were having. Remember when, because you and I both watched The Bold too, but do you remember when Eric Forrester was always playing pickleball?
Yes, playing pickleball. And here he was with Donna.
With Donna, he was playing pickleball.
Yes. He was
Just
staying
made
in
me
good
think of
shape.
that.
He was staying in good
Yeah,
shape.
he should be.
Yeah.
All right, so the Abbott clan, let's talk about them. So they've got major issues. Ashley
sure
and
do.
Jack.
Yes.
Yep, they continue to battle. Jack and Diane asked Billy to act like he does not agree with them, those two being married, and that it's going to be a disaster.
Yes.
When they
asked him to
Go
be, and because I had to think again, because they said, "We want you to be the Trojan horse." And I thought, I have to remember what that is again. And so it's to make it look like they're having a fight, and they pull Ashley in somehow, and then they can make the real result happen, that they don't want her taking the patents and everything. But yeah, it was interesting how that played out, and was Diane's idea to do that. When she came up with that idea as Billy should be the Trojan horse. Billy and Jack both agreed right away. It's like, hey, yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. See how we could pull Ashley into this, and see what her take, what is her intentions, what are her real intentions.
And I have to say too, Luann, that the fights that they've had the last couple days, Billy did so did Jack,
yes.
but Billy did a hell of a job acting, because I'm like, wow, if I didn't know, you would swear that's real.
I know. And that's why I think Ashley and Tucker at first, were like, yeah, right, Billy, you changed your tune pretty fast. But,
Yep.
With the different scenes, like today at the Geno City Athletic Club in the bar area, when Billy and Jack really went at it, and that seemed very realistic. And then when they were back at their home, it seemed very realistic too.
Yep, I agree. The other thing I wanted to bring up about that is that when they were going to get married, Kyle's too busy to attend
Oh, I know.
the wedding between Jack and Diane.
That was a really poor excuse. I was very disappointed in Kyle, and I know Jack and Diane were too. And then when they see him at the bar after that,
he's sitting at the bar.
yeah, and I was surprised that Kyle backed out. So I think it took him by surprise, because he said, you're getting married now. I thought you were getting married in September. So maybe he was just showing them his attitude about how he's feeling like they're rushing into things. And I think he's still maybe holding a little grudge that, Jack let him go from Marchetti. And so he probably is like, hey, I got other things I want to do. And he loves being with Audra right now. And that's what he wanted to do. And, and I thought it was, interesting, how Billy played that too, that, when they were at the bar, Jack's, well, I thought you would even be at our wedding. And Jack's like, or Billy's like, why would I do that? I don't agree that you're marrying Diane. So that part, they really played that part really well too. And when Kyle was coming into that whole conversation too, Billy was pushing it back to him, and Billy did a really great job with this.
Did.
Yeah, he's very realistic with it. And with Diane and Jack's wedding today, that kind of surprised me when all of a sudden Jack said this week, let's get married now at the Justice of the Peace. It's like, okay. And
Yep.
So that was good, but I still, Diane, I hope we could trust her, but I still think she has ulterior motives. And now this was her first thing she could check off. I'm an Abbott. I got married.
Yep, I agree with you. I all along I've been suspicious. I'm still not buying it. I think the other shoe's going to drop. Mm-hmm. Another comment though is that I really am learning to like McCall.
Oh, Tucker.
His
yes.
little smart ass quip comments that he makes and stuff. I'm like, I'm starting to like this guy.
I know, and they're perfect. The only thing one thing I want to say about Tucker is we're kind of seeing the old Tucker, the real Tucker, when he's been manipulating Phyllis this week too, because he brought in that EMT guy, and he's holding that over Phyllis's head, and he still wants her to get on Jack's good side and get on Diane's bad side. And she isn't coming through as quickly as he'd like, and he's kind of threatening her with different things and holding it over her head, and Phyllis is feeling the pinch on it.
Yep, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, before we go into our next segment, we have our first sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah,
so,
hey, we're getting to be big time now.
How about that?
I'm impressed.
All right, so stretch your space. Do you have a space in your home that creates stress whenever you look at it? A closet you hesitate to open for fear of things tumbling out, or maybe you're just making space for a new family member or downsizing into a smaller place, which we've done. Mm-hmm. Stretch Your Space is a professional home and organizing service that can simplify, organize, transform, and inspire so you can breathe. Visit their website at www.stretchyourspace.com.
And
all right.
I've seen some of the before and after pictures on Facebook, and it gives you great ideas. It's very, very efficient. I like that. It's clean. It's clean and efficient.
Some of it's pretty simple, but it's just a matter of kind of knowing how to do it and
Mm-hmm.
where to put things and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool.
It's good way to organize everything.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into Super Sudsy questions, Luann.
Yes.
First one for you. Is Victor going to be able to steer the Newman children in a way that creates family harmony?
Oh, he's going to try his hardest at this, and I don't think he will be able to keep them away from being at each other's throats, especially Adam and Victoria. It's going to be hard to reel those both in.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And Nick is probably going to have to referee between them or be going back and forth between them, between Adam and Victoria. But I don't. There's going to be all kinds of different situations, I think, coming up in the next episodes.
Yep, I agree. And Adam's always been a wild card, but lately, the last, I don't know, several months at least, Victoria's really kind of out of control too. She's on a power trip.
She is, and she didn't learn her lesson with Ashland.
Yes,
I
agreed.
just think that she, it's like she didn't learn that Ashland was. Yeah, I think he loved her, and I think Nate loves Victoria, but they're looking for power, and they want to be at the top, and she's their means of getting to the top, and with Adam, it was interesting how he made a proposal to Phyllis this week to come to join his company as an IT manager. And it's like, what are your ulterior motives for even offering her this position? Because you don't really like Phyllis. She's Nick's ex-wife, and why would you want to bring her on? But she must have some talents that he would like to utilize, because Adam is wanting to go after Audra too. Because he's brought her up a couple times, and so has Victor. He said, what would happen with Audra's position if you took over Newman Media to Adam? So, and if Phyllis comes into the company, and if Sally comes into the company, this is going to create quite a busy little company. I don't know how much they'll get done. I don't know how much they'll get done.
Yeah, right. Be a lot of battles. I'm not sure how much will get done.
Yeah, right.
All right. So how do you think, Luann, Nate will react to his new realization that he's not ever going to be the permanent top dog at Newman?
My feeling is he is going to want to do something like Ashland did. It's like, because Victor already said it, only a Newman family member can run my company. And so I have a feeling if Nate really wants to move forward with this, which I think he does, I think he's going to propose.
Oh. Propose marriage.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't thought of that one. That's good. Oh.
How he can get that, because that's his into the family. And
absolutely.
And hopefully Victoria will learn from her first mistake and take her time and not rush into it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't have much faith. She seems to be kind of going into this with rose glasses on. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So where's the Chance and Sharon relationship going to go, Luann?
Well, I'd like it to continue on. I think they make a great couple together, but we already saw signs of it cracking a little bit, because all of a sudden Chance saw Summer a couple times this week, and he was getting friendly with her, just in talking with her and visiting with her. But I have a feeling, because Summer's going to be lonely too, because now with Kyle with Audra, I think we'll see a little threesome thing going on with Sharon, Chance, and Summer, and we'll see how Sharon responds to that, how she feels about that, and if Summer wants to pursue it with Chance.
Yeah, I can see that. The other thing I think could happen in addition to that would be, I think Adam's going to now working together with Sharon, that's going to reunite some old feelings. And I can see Adam kind of falling for Sharon again.
Oh, that could be. That's a good one. I never thought of that. Yes, because right now Sally's still with Nick, and
Yep.
So Adam's not really with anyone, and he might start having some feelings for Sharon as they're working together, and they're working closely to help her company be successful. Kirsten,
right.
The Kirsten
right.
company be
Yep.
successful.
All right, so last question I have for you is, how is the Abbott family duel going to end?
I don't know. Not good. Not good. Because it was interesting in today's, at the end when they were showing the previews for next week, Billy comes to Jack and says, I talked with Ashley, as she wants me to do with you what we're doing with her, kind of the Trojan horse thing. And so now
Right.
Billy's going to be going, what do I do?
Now what do I do?
Now what do I do? And so we'll have to see how that plays out. But Ashley's not bending. I mean, she is out to get rid of Diane. And now that Diane and Jack are married, that's going to make it even worse. And Ashley, when she even said the bitch word on afternoon TV, I thought, oh wow. So when she threw that out at Diane, she's not going to hold back anything, and
she actually gets more angry by the day, the way it looks.
She does, and it'll be interesting to see if her and Tucker, or she and Tucker, proceed with marriage too, because Abby and Devon are helping them plan it and hold it at their Chancellor house. So I don't know. It's not going to probably end well, at least for a while.
I'm gonna throw out a theory here, quick. That is that I think that Tucker is going to marry Ashley, and here's what I think: is I think Diane and Tucker conspired this whole thing to get their hooks into Jack and Ashley, and that the two of them will do a power trip and try and take over Jabot.
Yes,
Tucker and Diane.
That's a good question, or a good observation, because I still think they were together in California a long time, Tucker and Diane, and they were working their little schemes together and stings together, and so that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good. I have a feeling too. Because there too, you have to be an Abbott family member to be able to take over the company or do different things. So yeah, so Diane's little plan worked first, and now hopefully Tucker's will. That's a good one.
And I agree with you. I think it goes back to when those two were together in California. They hatched this plan before either one of them came to town.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So we'll see. I just think that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah, Tucker really has nothing to lose, with all this. But
No.
the Diane, because of Kyle, that would surprise me. But maybe she feels, that she was apart from him for all those years. I don't know. But as a mother-son relationship, I would think she'd have a little more thought into this. But if she's wanting the money and the power, she'll move ahead with it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. That's our agenda. Do you have any other final comments before we close?
I don't. It's
I don't either.
it was again a good week of surprises, with the wedding, and Billy being the Trojan horse, and Phyllis, feeling a little squirmish. She looks like she's very confident, but I think wait until that trial starts happening with her, and I hope to see some rounds with her and Christine too.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we covered a lot, so
yes, we did.
We'll see where all this stuff heads. Hopefully, our predictions are close, Luann.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Until we dish again.
I'll look forward to dishing with you again.
All right. Keep it sudsy, and we're out.
Okay.